happiness and happiness is food. That is what most people believe in, including Tenzing Tsering, a Tibetan chef residing in New York and who has been in this profession for more than 3 decades. He has received many accolades for his cooking skill. Let's find out about his life as a successful chef in exile.
Chef Tenzing Tsering, it's really nice to have you in our show.
Nestle Sagirallah. Uh, First of all, I would like to thank Tibet TV for inviting me to share my experience regarding in food and beverage department. So thank you very much for inviting me.
So, Tenzing Tsering, some say that if you want to be a great chef, you have to work with great chef. But your case is different. Even though your academic course is not related to this field, you still managed to learn everything online about being a chef by yourself, and now you have been in this profession for a very long time. You are now a successful chef who run his own restaurant in New York. Tell us, how did you manage to get where you are right now?
It starts from my childhood because my family, my parents, they run a restaurant. So by helping to them, so I got interested in food preparations. So like that, I start working in hotels, start working in restaurants. Then I got interested in cooking and all. I just took it as a hobby, not as a professional. I was really very interested in cooking, and I want to do lots of experiment regarding the cooking and all. So then and there, like that, I start getting jobs in restaurants, I start getting jobs in hotel. Then my confidence level came up, so I thought myself that I can do something in this food and beverage department. So like that, then I came to this till this point right now. And at New York, I am running a restaurant, but this is because of my family members' support and everyone, my friends and families, they have supported me for bringing till this end.
So, have you ever got to introduce Tibetan foods to the non-Tibetans through your cooking skill?
Oh yeah, sure, definitely. Because my main aim to being a chef is to introduce Tibetan food in the international market. I have participated in lots of competitions representing in Tibet. I got lots of opportunity to present Tibetan food to the non-Tibetans, like foreign countries in Europe, in Moscow, in Russia, and in America. So yeah, it's and even the people, they like our Tibetan foods because we don't have that much spices including in our food, and the food which we prepare compared to our Tibetan traditional, it's very light food. So I hope in coming years our Tibetan food will be in international markets, sir.
So, what kind of response do you get?
Yeah, very good response from all over. Most probably when we came in the New York Times in 2015, lots of response came and it was in the website, it was all over that. In my restaurant, I prepare food from the scratch label when they ordered it. It's not prepared. So the reason behind that is to keep people healthy and make them feel happy because there's a saying that a connection of people starts from the stomach.
Okay, so there are many Tibetans who have been taking great initiatives when it comes to helping others during this COVID crisis. You too have been distributing food to all the major hospitals in New York and helping the frontliners there. So, how do you feel about getting the opportunity to be able to serve during a situation like this?
Yeah, it was a very great opportunity to serve to the frontliners in all New York hospitals. This happened from the pandemic hospital, which was the zero ground. It's called Elmas Hospital, where there was a doctor who was from Nepal, a Tibetan doctor, a friend of my friend. So they ordered food to me, and I asked them, what is the reason by ordering food to us? You get food. The problem was that they don't get food on time. And in my mind, it stuck that, okay, now this is my opportunity to serve the people. That idea stuck in my mind, and I asked with my families, and all together we have got a very good opportunity to serve from the Medicaid, from the doctors, from the nurses, all the people who works in the hospitals. In a day, we supply around 200 to 300 lunchbox to the hospitals.
That's a really generous initiative, Tishla. And I believe that you also give lectures about prevention of cure of disease through diet. So, can you give an advice to all of us as to what we should be consuming at this time dealing with the pandemic?
First of all, I would like to say not only our Tibetan peoples, the worldwide people, we think food has to finish our hunger. But that concept is very wrong for us. Think like that. Food means it's energy for our body. So without food, we won't be able to survive. And with that food, we are still living. We are working. We can work. We get all the energy levels with all the nutritions we get from the food. The problem is that we don't know about food. I was also, when I was a cook, I don't know about foods. Whatever the chef told me, I used to cook it. But regarding my studies in Indian Ayurveda herbal medicine, when I came up from the herbal medicine, I saw all grains are medicines. And even in our kitchen, all those spices, they are all medicines. And in Tibetan language, we use that word term mena, yeah, for the spices, we call it mena. So when I start doing research, mena means me name nazo in Tibetan language. So that was a very good concept before whoever they have thought about the mena. But in our mind, we don't think about mena. We just think about their spices to give flavor or give taste to food. So we should think that mena means it's a medicine type of herbal medicine which can cure our body. So I give lecture to the professors, to the universities regarding it's called prevention and cure of disease through diet. I advise a turmeric drink early in the morning in empty stomach, 2 pinch of turmeric in a glass of lukewarm water. You just consume it every day. You should consume it every day. It will
What does that
prevent you.
do, Krishna?
It will prevent you from all disease, everything. It's antioxidant, it's antibiotic, it's anti-rabies, everything. And turmeric, that's a term name in the Sanskrit, it's called a curcuma. Curcuma is a medicine which we use to prevent for cancer, for the cancer patients. So that's in Ayurveda, turmeric is a king of medicines. We use in all medicines. In my opinion, in coming days or coming futures, I was thinking to teach Tibetan people to know the foods, know the medicine, the spices, because we don't know the spices, no, we don't know the foods. So, hope in coming days, I would like to give some lectures or knowledge
Lectures
yeah.
regarding the spices. Okay. So, what do you like about cooking, and what makes cooking a different skill, and what is so special about cooking?
Look, Sakindala, cooking. Wherever I go to institute. I go to hotel management college while I was in India, while I was in Nepal, while I was in Eurasia. Example I give to my students that what is the food different between hotel and homemade foods? Because everyone cooks. My mother cooks, my wife cooks, you cook, my sister, everyone cooks, but they are not called chef.
Yeah.
In every interview, the people who have come to interview me, I have always said a good chef makes a customer healthy because he knows about the food, he knows about the nutrition, he knows about the diet, he knows the effect of the food. So if worldwide chef cooks in the good way, not thinking to make money, then I said in a interview that 97% of the human being all over the world will be healthy in this earth. So my cooking is different because I cook compared to the customer who comes in my restaurant. I ask him first, what do you have? Does he or she have sugar? Does he or she has a diabetes patient? Does he or she has a heart patient, high blood pressures, like athletics, arithmetics, psychiatrics? So everything I ask them. So sometimes my customers get shocked. No, why are you asking all this? Are you a doctor or a chef? So I used to tell them, I'm a chef. Until and unless I don't know your disease, what you're having in your body, if I give anything that you want to consume it, and suppose of curing it, if it goes in a negative side, then you blame me. If I know your disease, I can prepare food which is helpful for you and which will be curable
You
for
know
your
what?
disease. Yeah. So these are the things, like every chef doesn't do it. Suppose I speak frankly to everyone who comes here. So if all the chefs, if their works really dedicate themselves in preparing food, then it will be very helpful for us.
Tashla, there are many aspiring Tibetans who wants to make a mark in this career, choosing to be a chef in future. So what kind of advice do you have for them? Any words of inspiration?
In 2008, I was in the VTC for 1 month, a social worker, a voluntary teaching for the hotel students. You have to dedicate yourself in this line. It's not an easy job. You have to work with fire. You have to work with hot oil. You have to work with boiling waters. So all with sharp knives. It's all injurious to health. But you have to dedicate yourself. You should know how to tackle with them. You should know how to prepare the food in a good way, not in a bad way that to earn money and make a quick money. It all depends on a good chef who is your teacher. Every chef, everyone wants to make a quick money. They add all those preservatives or everything, which are very harmful for our bodies. Wherever I go, I tell my students, dedicate yourself. Do whatever you do it from your heart. Not like it's my duty. I came here to work for 8 hours. Just do it and give it. Not like that. That's a different food when you get to hotel and in your home. So what example I used to say that compared to the spices which we have in hotel and which we have in house, it's very different. But when we go to home, mother cooks or whoever it cooks, it's very tasty. What we don't have spices, but still, if mother cooks, she thinks that, oh, my son or my daughter is coming from work, they are tired, so she dedicates herself on the food. She concentrates on the food. She give her love and compassion, add to the food. It's not that you have to put all the love and compassion like that, but while preparing the food. So these are all simple tips and things. The future of the chef is very good. Whoever who wants to be a chef or work as a chef, it's very bright. Because in the Tibetan concept, they think chef means you work in a hotel or you work in a restaurant. That's not the thing now. You can work in the hospitals, you can work in the catering industries, you can work in the flight industries. Hotel and restaurant there are, but you have a very bright scope if anybody, young coming up Tibetan kids who wants to be a chef. There are some of our students who are doing this. They are in Bangalore, they are in Delhi. They are doing very well. So they dedicate themselves, and whatever I have taught them, they have listened to me. So I hope the coming up generations, the young Tibetan people, they hope they will dedicate themselves to the work and have a very bright future in the coming years or days.
Thank you so much, Tashla, for the wonderful words and for sharing with us about your experience on being a chef and your knowledge about cooking. Thank you so much for coming to our show.
Thank you so much, Sakirla. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next episode of In Conversation with Tibet TV.